I think a lot of the politicians need to go back and take a look at things. They need to bring back some of the testing that they used to do. And again, focus more on the majority and not the minority.
Hi, we are young reporter from Future Voices. May I ask you a few questions?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about education in the United States right now?
I think it's on the decline versus what it used to be. I think we're focusing too much on feelings and emotions and less on mathematics, science, and all of STEM. And I think there needs to be a shift to get back into what made us strong as a nation a long time ago. The early schooling, like from when I was a kid versus now. Again, the big difference is kind of focuses on the curriculum. It was test-based, so you had to meet certain criteria in order to be successful or viewed as successful to move on and everything else. But nowadays, they've kind of gotten rid of that, and they just want to get an overall feel of how somebody is doing. But it doesn't necessarily give them a benchmark that they can strive for, because competition is also very healthy. And so competition is what drives us to be better versions of ourselves. So if we can find ways to go back to implementing some of that, like the way that they used to, then I think that would help us immensely moving forward as a nation.
How do you want your child to feel the learning?
I want her to feel empowered. So I want her to be able to go to school, feel good about the things she's learning, knowing that she is learning and seeing improvements on all of that.
Do you think school should be more fun or more challenging, or mix of both?
I think it should be more challenging.
Can you explain?
Yeah, so back to kind of the STEM thing again. I think we've lost that portion of what we used to do. We focused on what we needed to accomplish in order for people to be successful later on in life. And that's what schooling is about. But nowadays, there's been a shift in the culture on that one. And now it's more about making sure that they have a good time during the school period, but that's not setting them up for success later on in their life. And I would love to see that shift.
Do you think today's school is too relaxed
Yes.
or when you were kids, is the school more stressful than it is today?
When I was a kid, it was more stressful. Nowadays, it's a different type of stress. So I view it as a social stress. So people care more about their groups that they fit in with and finding friends and to learn how to interact with other people so they can be successful later. But the other portion of that is focusing on ways to learn and gaining that neuroplasticity that you need in order to be successful later on in life.
Do you think what kind of stress is healthy for kids and what kind of stress is not healthy for kids?
I think some stress is healthy for kids no matter what. Life is stressful, so you're going to have to learn how to get used to it. So you may as well learn at an early age.
If you could change one thing in the education role, what would you change?
The curriculum. So I think it's heavily based on that. I think a lot of the politicians need to go back and take a look at things. They need to bring back some of the testing that they used to do. And again, focus more on the majority and not the minority and how their learning styles are different. So we've focused too much on people instead of teaching what works really good for the majority of the people and allowing them to be successful, and then finding out other avenues to make the other ones successful. I think also a lot of the teachers, so I've talked about the curriculum a bunch, so to focus more on the teacher portion of it, I think there's been a shift on some of the teachers. And I think that politics has made its way into the school system, and I don't think that should be a part of the school system. I don't think genders and all of that other stuff should also be in the school system, especially in early childhood development. I think they need to focus on just being kids and not everything else that everybody wants us to focus on. And I think, again, that's one of the big things that needs to shift. And that starts with the teachers. And I think that's a failure of the system. And again, they should focus on things that better kids to allow them to be young adults and into successful members of society.
Okay, thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Absolutely. You as well. Thank you.